Howdy, Possum Patty here, and yepers, I'm still playing with the stuff that I put on the table that was under the table. And, well, I'm going to have to bring you in closer to show you, so come on along. Before we get to this, let me just put a few things away. I was working in my potato chip journal. No, really, I know it says potato chips, but it's my Lighthouse journal. And I was doing the page for this visit to the Lighthouse in Stonington, Connecticut. And let me show you how it came out. And didn't that wood grain piece of scrapbook paper get a really nice weathered look when I put the matte medium on top of the distressed ink? And it also dulled a little bit the paper behind the real seaweed yappers from 10 years ago. This was so funny yesterday, yeah. So there's my page, and I love it. I'm always looking for something new to put in a journal. And I don't think I've ever put real seaweed in any of my oh, I take that back. On the cover of one of my journals. In this summer journal, I did a diorama on the cover, and there is real seaweed in there, along with a real seahorse and real feathers and shells and sea glass and a rock. Okay, but that's not in the journal. That is on the journal cover. So, a little bit different. And there it is. My journaling about going to the Lighthouse in Stonington. So, I have this all set for now, because I found these postcards yesterday and I wanted to get those in here. But do I want to stick this in here right away? This is my dilemma now. If I put something aside to journal about it later, yeah, it sort of kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I could just put this on a page right now. I could do that. See, today is another day of not planning anything. The table is an extreme clutter right now, and I don't see my artist. Looking for my Fabri-Tac. I got this little tiny piece of seaweed here. I think I'm going to add that to this. That means I have to get out the matte medium again. But that's okay. You know, this is just a sesh. We call this a sesh. Sit down and you just play whatever comes to mind. I could have done this yesterday when I had the matte medium out, but I didn't think about it. Oh, okay, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue this down to the page. And then I will get the matte medium. Where did a little bit of seaweed go? Oh, here it is. I don't want to lose it. Okay. And we will get that put back on there like that. I don't need very much. A smaller brush. I'm going to put a little matte medium down. Liquitex acrylic mediums, matte medium. And then I'm going to stick that piece of seaweed right on there, like that. And now I'm going to carefully put it on the top. I was thinking about distressing it, but this is already craft paper with a white image on it, so I thought I would just leave the background white. I talked about this yesterday. Now I'm excited to get down to the beach and get some seaweed to dry so I could put more in this journal, and maybe my Mermaid's Tale summer journal too. I believe that is covered. I hadn't planned on doing this, but that's what today is all about, just playing. Something else that I found under the table was 2 little coloring images that were gifted to me in Happy Mail. I'm not going to color them right now, but I wanted to get them into my coloring book Ephemera Flow journal, which I'm still working on. I need to sit down and glue pockets in here. Like that, okay. And that is done. Let me go put this away. Working my way through the pile here. Something else that I pulled out was this little book, Betty's Fairy Ride. And this is a thrilling fairy tale of Betty Elizabeth Brown, who found beneath her lilac tree a tiny fairy crown. And I got it out because of this picture of the lilacs. And my lilac bush is blooming now. It's got a few lilacs on it. Well, I have 2. And the other one hasn't really grown any in a couple of years. And there's no flowers on it right now. But the one over by the tool shed is doing pretty well and had several flowers on it. So I thought I would do a page in my spring journal, which is Emma the Shabby Chic journal. This is Emma. She's from the flea market. Everything I used to make this journal was from the flea market. And let's see, I did some April journaling in here. Let's see, this was about the Black-Eyed Susans, which the last time I checked on them, they're still doing okay. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed because once they grow up to a certain height, the deer might come and eat them. And this one's about my freesias, and 2 of my freesias have sprouted up out of all the ones that I planted. Oh, this was just a fun journaling card, yeah. I have to review in my mind what I did. So I could put the lilacs, you know, I got to save that one. I'm going to put the lilacs way over here, yeah. So I'm thinking about how to do this. I should probably print out a picture of the lilac bush. And then I went into the closet to look through my flea market papers. And anything that looks sort of purple or spring with purple, purple and green. These are kind of cool. They kind of go together. But I liked this one. And I like that one. I may go with this one. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, where's that page? Okay, I have to figure out how to do this because I want this picture, but I want those words. I might have, yeah, I'm going to have to copy this on my printer and then cut it out and then cut that out and put it on the page. Yes, I like that. Yeah, this is just a reproduction of an old book. If this was the actual old book, I would not be cutting it up. But this is just a reprint of a classic story. But I love the little fairy pictures in here. All right, so I've got to print out a picture of my lilac bush. I got to copy this. I've got to cut this out. Oh, and let me show you what I was working on when I turned the camera on. Making a little ephemera here, and I was just having a play. I'm just trying to journal with and play with things that are just sitting around in the studio, yes. So I was thinking lilac bush. Somewhere I know in the closet I had a stamp that had a lilac on it, and I found it. And this is also from the flea market, so I got it pretty cheap. There's some leaves, I guess, that goes with that. These look like lilac leaves here. That does too. So I made one already, and I love how it came out. Of course, the camera wasn't on, right? Doesn't that happen all the time? But I did a couple experiments with different things, and I finally hit the combination that I love. And I wanted to do another one. The first couple I tried, I used the Stays On, but then I changed my mind. I wanted to like a little bit of a watercolor look, And so I switched to the Distressed ink, which is water soluble. And I took the lilac stamp. Now, I'm not one of those stamping demonstrator experts when it comes to stamping. I just do my own thing. Don't follow any of the rules, really. Okay. This is watercolor paper, so you can see a little bit of the texture there because we're going to take a brush, a little bit of water on there, and we're just going to touch these purple spots and make them run a little bit. I'm trying not to paint it too much because I don't want it to turn to too much of a solid color, but we're going to deal with that too in a second when it dries. I'm trying not to go over the negative space flowers, those little white flowers you see there, that's negative space, and kind of retain that whiteness there, like that. Oh, this one came out nice. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to split this. This is just scraps of watercolor paper. I'm going to put this aside, let that dry. I did this before I turned on the camera. So once it got to here, then I took the leaves and some more Distressed ink. Like that. And again, I touched it very, very gently with the brush. It gives it a really nice watercolor effect, like so. Okay, then I took a glitter gel pen. I have these glitter gel pens from the Dollar Tree, and they come with different characters on it, Buzz Lightyear and the princesses. These are Disney princesses. You get 3 for $1.25. And I'm taking the purple princess pen, and I am just going to doodle. So this starts with stamping, number 1. Adding the water, number 2, going over it with a sparkle gel pen, 3rd step, okay? And all I'm doing is little doodle flower shapes in the purple and also around those white negative spaces like that. And I'm just making, where's the scrap? I'm just making little shapes like this, just like a little doodle kind of flower. I'm doing it upside down because this side is wet and I know I'll put my hand right in it. So I'm doing the negative spaces and the painty spaces. I can't do the stem because it's still wet. I might get out my heat tool and dry this so I can do the stem. Oh, I could work on this one for a second, right? I have to do the stem on this one. And then I'll have 3 of them. Okay, first step is a stamp, like that. Second step, dab a little bit of water. I thought I had some paper with lilacs on it, and that's when I went into the closet and got out that other paper, but they're hydrangeas, not lilacs. Although I don't think that matters too much, does it? No. No, it doesn't. But that's when I thought of this stamp. And I don't even know if I've ever used this stamp for something. All right, I'm going to dry these. And now I'm going to doodle on this one the same way that I doodled on that one. So this is really fun. You don't need any artistic skills whatsoever. Stamp, brush some water, and doodle some shapes. I'm just doing this. Basically, that's all I'm doing. Over and over again. And I love the way they come out. Okay, I need to do the stems though. Get the green. Go up the middle of the leaf. I'm trying to like outline maybe a little bit. These are kind of like partial leaves. But again, keeping it very doodleish. Doodleish. Like that. What can be better than a watercolor look with sparkle pen on it? It's going up, making a wiggly leaf. Putting some veins on the leaf with the sparkle pen. Oh, I love them. Okay, I'm going to cut these out. Got a couple things I have to do. I have to copy and print a picture and come back and we're going to design a page for the lilacs. I've printed out my picture and I copied the book pages and I'm ripping up paper and I got to move some of this stuff. Move some of these things for a moment here. Okay. I decided to use the stripy paper as a border for the picture, and I did cut out the other Betty Elizabeth Brown that was on the page with the words. So these will go on this page, and this has the same background. I want to put a lilac over here, but I'm thinking I want something colorful here, so I'm cutting a strip of this. Yes, okay. Something like this for this side. And on this side, I'm going to have this background and this and this and Betty. Now, do I need another piece of stripy paper? It'd be fun to have one running this way. Let's see. I got more of this left. How wide do I want it? Maybe, well, we'll start here. We can always change it after. All right, I cut that on my slicer dicer. And I think this will go across here with that. And that'll go there. And that'll go there. And here's Betty Elizabeth. And she needs a lilac too. Somewhere on this page. Somewhere on this page. How about, keep everything still here for a moment. Something like this. And then I'm going to have that one coming down and that one going up. These stripes going this way and these stripes going this way. And Betty Elizabeth on both pages. And where am I going to journal? Okay, I will journal and any little bit of space that I have leftovers. Let me get this glued down. Well, I have almost everything glued down, and I'm just loving these lilacs on here. And I left a little space there. I can put a little journaling card there. Not really a journaling card, just a little piece of ripped paper there to journal on. Like that. I think that would work, right? I don't have to say much. Just put it right there. And this is not cardstock, it's just paper. I'm going to use my glue stick. Make sure everything stays down. Stay down, stay down. Today is May 28th. Lilacs in bloom. All right, now do we need one more thing? We always need one more thing, don't we? Okay. One more thing. I did not stamp any of the leaves. Where would I put them? I could put a couple of leaves around. I have more watercolor paper. I don't know how they'll come out. Let's try a couple and see if I like them. Touch a little water to them. And then I'm going to dry them, and I'm going to put a little bit of sparkly pen on them too. Now don't press down solid, kind of spot out that water a little bit. Give it a little texture. This is Ranger Distress Ink Mowed Lawn. I'm trying to touch the edges that have a lot of ink and pull it in like that. Okay, now I have to dry these. Okie dokie, I just need to glue down my one more thing here, and I can call this page finished for now. Yeah. I didn't really give a thought to how many I was going to make. I got one more. I don't know if I'll use it. Well, I think maybe that's enough. I put a couple on that page, and I put a couple on that page. And this is the thrilling fairy tale of Betty Elizabeth Brown, who found beneath her lilac tree a tiny fairy crown. And my lilacs are in bloom. My two favorite colors, purple and green. So you know I am loving this spread. Well, these little impromptu journal sessions, I'm finding quite enjoyable. Just sit down and see what's here and do some journaling. I hope you're enjoying them too. And I want to thank you for coming along today. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. When in doubt, play dead. Life advice from an unexpected source. Friends come in all shapes and sizes, and weird friends are the best kind. If you can't think of who the weird friend in your group is, it's probably you.